Greetings, and welcome back to the podcast. This is Paint the Town Dead, and I am one half of your host, Caitlin.
I'm Andrew, and you can't stop me.
I won't even try.
No, I'm talking to the people out there.
Oh.
Send them all.
Oh.
You can't stop me.
Okay. Well, that's great. Andrew, how have you been?
Unbeatable.
Very good.
No, I don't know. Fine? I'm fine.
That's great.
Are you fine?
Yes.
I'm mostly fine.
You want to know why I'm fine?
I'm mostly pretty okay.
You want to know why I'm fine?
Yeah.
My job is the least stressful job in the world. I don't know about that, but it's very
Being
good.
a mom?
A mom?
Yeah, gotcha. I know. The most stressful job.
Oh my gosh, am I having a baby? I'm not.
As far as we know.
I'm not. The answer is no.
Takes a while to find out.
I'm not.
Sometimes you don't even know.
That's true.
That TLC show. I think it's TLC.
Yeah. I didn't know I was pregnant.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's like, I went to go to the bathroom and then boop, there's a baby.
Like my stomach was hurting so bad. Yeah. Oh, hello, baby.
What a weird thing.
It is a weird thing. No, I don't know how this happened. There's no babies involved. No. Anyway.
Okay. Why are you fine?
Oh, my job is great.
You said that.
And then I canceled my wedding, so that's great.
Oh, more like you moved it.
I did.
Or whatever.
I moved a lot.
You canceled the venue.
I did. We moved a lot of stuff. And I feel a lot better about it. It's going to be a lot less stressful. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable. I'm excited.
You could just not get married. That's the best way to avoid stress of marriage.
No.
Don't get married.
Plan A for me was getting married in Scotland when we're going to Scotland.
Yeah, well.
But there's a lot of tape, a lot of red tape.
Oh, I bet. I mean, here's the thing. A guy I used to work with, old manager, he told me, worst thing you can ever do is get divorced.
Oh.
Second worst thing you can do, get married. If you don't get married, you prevent the first one. So
is he married?
He was not. He was going through him and his ex had big problems.
Oh.
Like it was a whhole thing. But anyway, but it was just
tell me later. Tell me after the show.
I don't have specific details, but it was just like one day he was like really frustrated with something and we were talking on break and he's just like, Andrew, worst thing you can do is get divorced. I was like, all right, man.
I can attest to that. It was pretty rough.
I'll just not get married. Problem solved.
Here's the thing, though. You learn from your mistakes.
Some people do.
That's true.
Look at you getting married again.
Speaking of which, I'm getting married again.
It's like on Community.
No, but we're having a prenuptial agreement. Not because I don't trust us, but because I know that sounds terrible. But literally, in nursing, there's something called CYA, and that's cover your tush. So
why is it an A if it's a tush? That's a T word.
Listen, this is a clean show. We've never cussed on it before.
That's almost true.
Don't listen to episode 1 if you have sensitive ears.
And also, I'm pretty sure I've used the B word
and
the A word and the D word.
You have. I can attest to this.
I've said things you can say on TV, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, it says cover your ass. Anyway, I did not that I don't trust us and not that I don't love my future husband very, very much, but I don't want to get screwed over,
I just think of on Community, I think it's the first episode, Pierce says something about like he got divorced 7 times.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And Jeff just says, you keep getting married.
That's so true.
So why don't we, you want to talk about the thing we're doing today?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Today, it's not my turn. I don't know.
That's right. It's my turn. I hope you all like that.
I just want to set the record. Speaking of your turn.
Oh, what?
It was not me that made it late this time.
Yeah, we're only late by like a day. It's fine.
It's not by 2 weeks.
Yeah. It'll be a day, maybe 2. We'll see.
It's fine. Listen, you know what?
It's tradition now.
We'll get episodes out when we can. It's a roundabout. We'll get it out sometime in that week usually. Okay?
An episode will come out eventually.
That's right.
Until we die.
Exactly.
Then we can't do any more.
We don't get paid for this. It's just a hobby, so we'll get it when we can.
You're not getting paid?
Excuse me?
Never mind. So anyway.
Forget I said anything.
Don't remember any of that.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah. So we're going to talk, this is going to be a double feature.
A double feature?
Dual features.
That's so exciting. I'm really sorry for anybody that just had headphones in. I just thought about that.
I think it usually usually makes it not horrible when
Okay.
you do stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm not sure, so maybe don't do it.
Okay.
Don't test it, I guess.
So sorry. I won't do it again.
So yeah, this is going to be a duel episode.
Very exciting.
No, Caitlin, not a duel episode, a duel episode.
Duel episode.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
A duel episode.
Oh, wait, like legitimately?
Yeah, pow, duels.
Like for real?
We're doing a couple duels.
Look at you. You're so creative.
Yeah.
A duel.
The duels.
Duel.
I think that's what I'm going to call this episode. Duels, and then the names of the guys.
Cool.
So.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It's men. Typical, am I right? Out here waving their fake wieners around, a.k.a. guns.
Why? Okay. Okay.
They want to have a pissing contest, but they wanted to up the ante a bit.
So let's make it guns.
By shooting hot lead at each other.
Very cool. Let's continue to the story.
So duels, as they were, they were usually used to settle disputes among the higher class.
I've heard.
Which makes them seem not very high class if they're out there trying to shoot each other to death. If you ask me, just a thought. This is basically considered part of the code of honor for Southern gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing honorable about this. It usually took place at dawn, so that there's less people around to mess with you. And they usually went somewhere out of the way. Like they weren't doing it in the middle of Main Street. Though there is one we're out covering today that totally did happen like in the middle of Little Rock. But anyway.
Was it recently?
It was basically the last duel that we know of in Arkansas of this type, which is like in the 1870s, which is quite a bit after where we're going to be even. And you would, they would do it out of the way also like to avoid the law, because usually it was actually illegal to do this. So they'd be accompanied by seconds, which were there to make sure things were on the level. They had they brought their own guy with them.
Listen, I've read Harry Potter. I know about the dueling club. I know what a second is.
Kaylin, I don't want to break something to you. Ain't real. The magical wizarding world. I got to remind you this,
how come
Andy Dwyer.
Then how come I've been there and it's in Florida? Right next to Disney World.
What? Do you know what they call the magic school in America?
Yes, and I've forgotten. Ilvermorny.
What?
Ilvermorny.
Ilvermorny?
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember watching a thing that was like, the Brazilian one is just called like Magic Castle in Portuguese or something stupid. And same thing, but like Japan was a similar thing. I forget what they were.
I got to Google it. Continue. I'll tell you.
But yeah, so they had seconds. They're there to make sure like things are on the level. They are the ones who, they loaded the pistols for each guy. They counted the paces before they would turn and do a shooting. And also, importantly, they had to be of equal social standing.
Oh.
So you couldn't I don't know. I guess you couldn't bring a slave with you because this is during slave owning times.
Gotcha.
And I don't know why you wouldn't, but maybe they didn't trust the slave to be like,
I'm going to shoot you.
This sucker dies. I'm out of here, baby.
So the Brazilian wizarding school is called Castelo Brujo. I don't speak Brazilian. I don't know how to. I'm sorry, Portuguese.
There you go.
I don't know how to speak Portuguese, so I don't know if that's right.
I mean, that first word sounds like castle, and I think it is like
Castelo
castle
Brujo?
school or castle magic or something silly like that.
Yeah, that kind of looks like it. Ilvermorny is the American school.
Yeah, JK got real lazy on these ones where she does not know the language.
Fenrir Greyback.
Yeah.
Sirius Black that turns into a black dog.
I like Fenrir, though, who is obviously a wolf man.
Yes.
Because Fenrir from Norse mythology.
And speaking of which, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So,
our first person that we're going to talk about in these duels. Andrew Horatio Scott. He was born August 6th of 1789.
Oh, wow.
To his parents, Andrew Scott, had the same name. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And Elizabeth Ferguson in Hanover County, Virginia.
I'm so sorry. What were their names? Andrew Scott and something Ferguson?
That's right.
That sounds familiar.
Never heard of them. They're, so yeah, in Hanover County, Virginia is basically where Richmond is. Though it's a weird thing. We don't need to get into it too much, but like a bunch of cities in Virginia, for some reason, are like separate from their counties that they would normally be in.
What do you mean?
Like they have a separate government and the county government has no jurisdiction on Richmond or whatever.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Like Virginia has like 30 cities like this. And there's a few others. I think Baltimore, St. Louis, and somebody else are like this too.
I'm very confused. How does it run if there's two different governments?
It's just like anything. It's just like the county does not involve itself in the city matters at all.
Weird.
It's a weird thing. Basically, it's like Richmond would be in this county. I think it's this one, but it doesn't technically count as part of it because it's a separate government that does not have jurisdiction within the city limits. It's really weird. That
is weird.
It has something to do with like Virginia's state constitution after the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, which this is from before, so who cares?
Yeah.
He had 5 siblings. His family moved to St. Genevieve, Missouri Territory in 1808. Missouri is not a state yet. That's right. That's how far back we're going.
Dang.
When he's there, he wants to get into doing the law. There's not a law school there, so he apprenticed under his brother and eventually became a lawyer in 1811. He passes the bar exam.
When did Arkansas become a state? Wasn't it 1825?
Something like that.
So that wasn't even a state yet.
No, if Missouri was a state before us, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you had the Louisiana Territory from the Louisiana Purchase.
Correct.
Then you had the state of Louisiana form, and to avoid confusion, they renamed the rest of it Missouri Territory.
Oh.
And so on.
Okay.
And at some point, they did some switching around.
So we were a part of Missouri Territory.
Yes.
Okay.
We would have been part of Missouri Territory.
Listen, history and crime all in one episode.
That's right.
Okay.
So he becomes a lawyer. He gets married to a woman named Eliza Jones. In 1812, he became the first clerk of the House of Representatives for the Missouri Territory.
Interesting.
And he served 2 terms doing that. He moved to a lead mining town, which is probably not good for your health, more so than most, maybe the same as most mining, actually. Let's say more so than like
lead's pretty bad.
Lead's like in your brain, coal's in your lungs. You're gonna die either way, or go crazy, or whatever it is. I think silver miners can't taste anything, which is why they would put hot sauce on everything.
Really?
Also because the meat was often rancid.
Again, history. Here you go.
It was bad a lot of times. So they moved to this little town. It was called Mina Breton. It is modern day Potosi, Missouri. And when I looked up Potosi, Missouri, there was a Mina Breton society, which I thought was interesting. But I did not look too far into it because I had other stuff to do.
More important stuff.
He established a school called the Potosi Academy, served as a trustee along with his father-in-law. And in 1819, he was appointed the sheriff of Jefferson County in Missouri Territory. March 2nd, 1819, Arkansas Territory is established.
Okay.
Because Missouri was getting ready to become its own state.
Oh.
So then they start splitting up the territories again. They're like, okay, this is Arkansas Territory, which was basically modern day Arkansas plus most of Oklahoma.
Yes, I do remember that from our sheriff days. What was his name? Bass Reeves?
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah. And so like at some point then like Oklahoma became Indian Territory, all that stuff.
Yes.
And March 3rd, the next day, he's appointed by the president to become a superior court judge for the Arkansas Territory.
Very cool.
So the territories essentially had 3 judges who were like essentially like a Supreme Court of sorts. They're like the highest law of that territory.
Okay.
And so he's one of the guys. He's one of 3 guys appointed to that spot. Now we're going to jump back a little bit, talk about a guy named Joseph Selden. He was born in Henrico County, Virginia, which is also near Richmond. And that was on May 7th, 1787, to a man named Colonel Miles Carey Selden and Elizabeth Armstead Selden. He had 11 siblings and went to school at William and Mary College in 1804, became a lawyer, served in the Army during the War of 1812. And after the war, he stuck with the Army for a while and moved to the Missouri Territory. Stationed at Fort Bellefontaine, which is near St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Caitlin was shaking her head. I was like, I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't know.
Nobody's going to know what Fort Bellefontaine is.
I don't know what that is. Is it still around? Is it still a thing?
There might be something. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was near St. Louis.
Okay.
It was like north of it, I think.
That's all I need to know.
And he resigned from the Army in May of 1820. So, if you'll recall, there were those 3 judges appointed to the Superior Court of Arkansas. 2 of them dipped out less than a year after they were appointed.
Wow, why?
I don't know, but they did not, like the court never even convened before they left.
Oh, wow.
They were probably like, Well, this Arkansas place, I don't know.
Still think that.
Maybe I should go somewhere else. I'm going to go back to Kentucky or something, wherever I'm from. I think one of them was from Kentucky. So in May of 1820, Joseph Selden is appointed to that court.
Very cool.
Next to Andrew Horatio Scott.
BFFs.
And so he resigned from the army and became member of the court. That September, he went back to Virginia to marry a woman named Harriet Gray. Moved her back with him to Little Rock, which was about to become the new territorial capital. It started off in Arkansas Post, which is like way southeast Arkansas.
Is it still there?
There's like not much there. There's a memorial and like I think it's a national park.
Oh.
But I don't think there's a whole lot really there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was reading about Arkansas Post, and it's like after 1850 or so, it kind of just like really went in decline. So there's not really much of a town there.
Okay.
And modern day, if you go there, I think most of the like buildings that would have been there, and like the old forts, are underwater because of doing dams and
about
stuff.
the same, yeah. Oh,
like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's like this used to be a bluff. It's just on the water now. Like,
wow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, engineering. It's crazy.
It is. Also, damming is bad for the environment.
Yeah, it killed all those mussels in the White River.
Oh, really?
Because it made the water cool.
Oh.
Yeah, we talk about that a little bit in the Helen Ruth Spence episode, I think.
Oh, we do?
Maybe like for like a second.
It's a thing. Mussels in the water?
Yeah, in the river. They used to be.
Weird.
And
were they an invasive species?
I don't think so. I mean, it was the 1800s. I doubt it.
Anyway, get story.
You can find mussels in like lakes and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Think. Maybe. Who knows?
Andrew doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's true, actually.
We're not scientists. We're not. What would that be?
Experts.
Well, what would it be?
Zoology.
Yeah. We're
zoologists.
We're not zoologists.
We're not.
There you go.
We ain't nothing. So, April 1824, Andrew Scott and Joseph Selden are enjoying a game of cards. They're hanging out in Arkansas Post because Scott actually still lived in Arkansas Post for the most part, even though the capital had moved up to Little Rock. And they're having a card game. And it's a game called Whist. Have you ever heard of it? Okay. And it's basically a game that involves partners. So it's like Scott and a person and Selden and a person. And then it's a game of cards. Selden allegedly...
Have you played it? Do you know?
No, I'd never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
So Selden insults Andrew Scott's partner, who is described as a lady friend.
Oh, okay.
You'll notice they are both actually playing with female card partners.
Interesting. They
both have wives.
I see.
Neither partner is ever described as one of their wives.
I see.
That's right. Men were always dogs.
Yes.
Ho, 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 ho.
Stop. Literally always.
Where are my dogs at? Ho, ho. Let's go.
Shut up.
Listen, I feel connected to them as a fellow womanizer. You know this about me, Caitlin. I'm always out there. Caitlin gave me an incredulous look.
Astounded.
Selden gave some sort of insult to this woman. Scott demanded he apologize. And he's like,
you apologize to my woman right now.
Yeah. And Selden says, nah, man, I ain't going to do that.
I shall not, good sir.
And then Scott said, okay. And then threw a candlestick at him and challenged him to a duel.
Oh, sick burn, bro.
Candlesticks are probably heavy. They're metal.
Yeah. Made out of iron.
That would mess somebody up. So some bystanders step in to break up the fight. And after a few days, Selden sends a letter of apology. The apology is accepted by this lady friend.
I shall accept your apology.
Whoever she is. Not his wife.
His hoe.
Yeah, basically. Seems like it.
We got it.
Oh, man. Point is,
we all know if you cheat on your spouse, you're a really awful person.
They were all bad all the time, all day, every day, even in the old days when people were like, back in the old days, bro. No.
People were pure and holy.
They were not. They were all so bad.
Men suck.
They saw their wives as baby machines and they went out and fornicated with these whores.
These other baby machines.
but they didn't put no babies in them, ideally.
Ideally.
That causes problems. Once there's another baby in the mix, that's a problem. So the apology's accepted, and that's the end of that story.
No, it's not.
JK! That's right. There's still bad blood. They still did not like each other. And
they had to work together.
Exactly. There's basically the 3 judges. 2 of them hate each other, and one of them has challenged the other to a duel. And so eventually, kind of boils over because they still hate each other. Mm-hmm. And the duel is back on.
Of course it
They're
is.
going to do a duel, which again, also, back in the old days, they're going to go out here and try and shoot each other because he talked mess about this dude's mistress or whatever.
Wholesome my butt.
My word. So dueling was actually illegal in Arkansas Territory. So they went across the river into Mississippi, just across from Helena.
Oh, good.
Which I'm not sure if it was necessarily not illegal in Mississippi. It's just they lived and worked in Arkansas Territory. So, like,
okay.
What are you going to do about it? Was Mississippi going to come and find us and extradite us? Doubtful.
I'll rule me not guilty.
So, Selden, his second, was Judge James Woodson Bates.
Another judge.
That's right. But he was not a Superior Court judge. He was a different judge. He was actually the first territorial representative to the House for Arkansas.
Very cool.
And you might recognize the name Bates. Batesville, named after him.
I've been there.
That's right. It's the home of Lyon College.
Which is very Scottish, let me tell you what.
At least they claim to be.
Their mascot is the Scots.
Mascots can be anything you want.
It should be the unicorn because that's the national animal of Scotland.
Yeah, well, I've never seen any red wolves in Arkansas.
No?
Arkansas State's the red wolves. I've never seen bears in the wild in Arkansas.
Have you seen any bear in the wild, period?
No.
Me neither.
I've seen elk.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. Scott's second was a guy named Dr. Nimrod Menifee.
There's a place called Menifee.
There is. I went to the Wikipedia page. It did not say anything about it being named after him, but it is. I forget. I think it's in Conway County. I forget which county it's in. I looked it up, but fun fact: Dr. Nimrod, and it might have been Conway County because he was one of the guys who helped settle Conway County.
Oh, okay.
And also, terrible name, Dr. Nimrod.
I like that.
I would not want that guy working on me, though.
Why?
His name's Nimrod.
Because that means you're like when I hear Nimrod, I think of a piece by Edward Elgar. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I just think of his name is Dr. Nimrod. It's like, he's going to be a bad doctor. I don't want that guy.
Yes, Menifee is a town in Conway County.
There you go. So it was probably named after him, but the Wikipedia article did not mention it.
But US 64 passes through the center of the town.
Ooh.
Just in case you wanted to know.
I needed to know about where 64 went.
Anyways, go ahead.
So the men go out there. They do their paces. They turn around. They shoot. Scott fires the first shot. Bullet passes through Selden's heart and lungs. And he is dead in minutes.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So we have dang,
that was a good shot.
Judge of the Superior Court killed the other judge of the Superior Court.
Starting off good, Arkansas.
We're killing it, baby. We're not even in the state yet, and we're already getting into it.
Jeez.
Fun fact. Actually, this is the opposite. That's why I said it this way.
Okay.
Selden, he is survived by his wife and daughter. And funner fact, his wife is also pregnant.
Oh, that's sad.
So she returned home to Virginia, where she gave birth to their second daughter. Scott remained on the court. He did not get booted out immediately. Some people tried to remove him, but he stuck around. They served 4-year terms, but he was not retained at the end of his term. The Senate was like, "We are not going to confirm this guy. Get out of here."
Yeah.
So that's the end of part 1, our first duel.
I just wanted to let you know I Googled it, and yes, it says the Menifee family provided the right-of-way for the development of the railroad, and when completed in 1873, the designated stop and post office were named in honor of Dr. Nimrod Menifee.
There you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That was from encyclopediaofarkansas.net.
Okay.
I like that place.
That's where I got most of my information for both these stories, if I'm being honest. I saw he had established Conway County or helped it. And so I saw Menifee, and I just went to the Wikipedia, and it did not say anything. You could go update it. Anybody can work on it.
Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's too much. I already tried that one time for something, and I was like, it was way too much of a hassle.
Did you try and like change it to something wrong?
No. It was right. It was one of our cases. I don't remember which one it was. So I was like, this is not right. And so I tried to go in there and change it, and it was a big headache. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that.
I changed something to be something wrong, and it was there for like a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're actually like, people are like, Wikipedia is so inaccurate. And it's like, kind of, but they are more on it than you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
What?
All you needed to do was go to the encyclopedia of Arkansas.net. This is a great website.
It is.
First sentence. The town of Menifee has its origins in the 1820s when Dr. Nimrod P. Menifee bought property west of Cadron Creek along the Arkansas River.
All right.
It was adjacent to the Cadron settlement. You ever been there?
Did we talk about it for some reason?
Cadron settlement? I feel like we did.
Maybe in the Red Hall episode.
Possibly.
Because I feel like he was around that. I don't remember.
Well, anyway, I went there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
For a day in school, and they teach you about pioneers and stuff. I don't know.
So it's kind of like that thing they have in downtown Little Rock where it's like, Davy Crockett probably stayed here, but probably didn't. We just like to say he did.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
Yeah, congrats to Nimrod.
What's the P stand for?
I don't know.
I'm going to click on his thing. We'll find out.
Nimrod
P. Menifee. At your service.
The P stands for P. Got him.
Doesn't say.
All right. We're going to talk about somebody who we know what his middle initial stands for.
What?
Henry W. Conway.
Henry West Conway?
Wharton.
Wharton.
Wharton. Wharton.
Why would I know what that means?
Henry? No, because we know what his middle initial is. Unlike Nimrod.
Oh, I thought you were saying like, we know where Wharton is.
We know.
I was like, I don't know a place called Wharton.
Oh, you know.
Oh, we know. Oh, by the way, Nimrod P. Menifee was only 42 when he died.
A lot of these people die young.
Yep. Anyway, go ahead.
Henry Wharton Conway.
I know that name.
He was born March 18th, 1793, near Greenville, Tennessee, to a Thomas and Ann Rector Conway. He had 9 siblings.
So many.
I know. He also served in the War of 1812, fought at the Battle of Fort Boyer, which prevented the British from taking control of Mobile, Alabama.
Very cool.
He served as a clerk in the U.S. Treasury Department, moved to Missouri Territory in 1818. Missouri became a state in like 21. So
right before us.
Not long before Missouri's going to start working towards statehood, which is like 1819 is when they split the territory. He moved to Arkansas Territory, 1820. 1822, he is elected as a delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives from Arkansas. He is reelected twice. Another person we're going to talk about, Robert Crittenden.
That's a place, Crittenden County.
That is.
Isn't that West Memphis?
It is.
All right, cool.
I know. The only reason I know that is because of this guy, because I had to look it up.
The reason why I know is because my college roommate was from one of my college roommates was from West Memphis.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I wouldn't have remembered the county of West Memphis.
Well, you want to know why I remember it? Is because I remember her saying she had to go back to the Crittenden County health department because every month, because for like a year, because when she got TB tested, when you do a little skin test for tuberculosis, hers came back positive, and they did an X-ray, and she had tuberculosis. It wasn't active, but it was in her lungs, like dormant in her lungs. And so she had to be treated, and it's a very lengthy treatment. It's 9 months of 3 antibiotics. And so you have to report to the health department to do it. They will come and find you and basically arrest you if you don't report.
But what about my freedom? COVID, right? Anyway. Bunch of whiny ass pricks.
I know.
So anyways,
that's how I wrote. That's the reason why I remember Crittenden County and West Memphis and Crittenden County.
I do a bad job of remembering most of these county names, to be honest.
You do better than me.
Well, sometimes it's because I got to for the research.
Okay.
Like Crittenden specifically, I would not have known otherwise.
I knew something you didn't.
That's amazing.
Especially geography. I almost said geology.
Yeah, tell me all about geology. What's up with volcanoes? So, Robert Crittenden. He was born January 1st, 1797
Let's get back to it. Okay.
in Woodford County, Kentucky.
Okay.
His father is John Crittenden, who was a major in the Continental Army back in the Revolution. Robert here practiced law in Kentucky, entered the Army in 1814. He commanded volunteers during the First Seminole War. So he went down to Florida fighting natives. 1819, he is appointed the first Secretary of Arkansas Territory, which is kind of like Lieutenant Governor is nowadays, essentially.
Gotcha.
It's basically the same thing. And in fact, the guy who was supposed to be the territorial governor was delayed in coming. So Crittenden acted as the territorial governor for a little while. And he used this to amass quite a bit of political power in the territory. He was, in fact, a driving force in moving the capital from Arkansas Post to Little Rock. Weirdly enough, he owned a bunch of land in Little Rock.
Suspicious.
Really weird. He was, however, an early supporter of our boy, Henry Wharton Conway.
Oh.
It's said that essentially Crittenden was like the puppet master. He's like running things from behind the curtain, and people like Conway are like the public-facing political figures, I guess. And at some point, those two have a falling out. It's believed that part of this is because there was a broken promise where Conway said he wasn't going to run for re-election in 1825, but did.
Jerk.
So Crittenden ended up supporting his opponent in 1827, named Robert Oden, who was of the Whig Party.
Means
Quick
nothing.
sidebar. We got to talk about Robert Oden just a second.
Okay.
Because he participated in Arkansas's first ever documented duel.
Lots of duels happening here.
He was hanging out with a guy named William Allen, who became fascinated with Oden's sword cane and refused to give it back to Oden. And Oden gets very unhappy about this, challenges him to a duel, and kills him in 1820.
Jeez.
Killed him in the duel because he wouldn't give back his sword cane quick enough. So anyway, this ends up being like a very nasty political campaign. Like Oden accuses Conway of stealing money from the government, which was intended for the Quapaw. And Conway's like, these funds, these were approved by Crittenden. And Crittenden's like, nah, never happened. Don't know what you're talking about. So like, really like get button heads here. So they become, Conway and Crittenden become very bitter political rivals.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't just Conway and Crittenden. Like, there was basically like a big faction of like Conway supporters and Crittenden supporters all writing angry letters to the newspaper about each other.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, they didn't have Facebook yet. They couldn't talk trash there.
Exactly.
They had to use the newspaper and write little opinion pieces. In fact, our boy Conway, his cousin Ambrose Sevier, was challenged to a duel by one of Crittenden's friends named Thomas Newton.
This is getting ridiculous.
And that duel ends with a single shot, but no casualties. They both are like, okay, this is fine.
All right, we did it.
Actually, I don't want either of us to die.
Don't want to die.
I would rather not. So, Conway, he believes that Crittenden, who had put forth those initial rumors about the misappropriated funds, and he made it known publicly that he believed that, writing to the newspaper, letting everybody know. So, just like straight up called him a liar in a published letter, which is like scandalous, I guess.
Oh.
You can just do that whenever now. Just get on Twitter.
Get on Facebook.
You'll get elected president somehow for some reason. So anyway, Crittenden, he's like, my honor's been insulted. Conway, I challenge you to a duel.
Too many.
October 29th, 1827. Near the confluence of the White and Mississippi rivers, they meet up for the duel. They don't meet anywhere near where, like Little Rock, where they would be normally, because Conway is on his way to Washington, D.C. to do a thing, because he's part of the House of Representatives. He's a sitting member of Congress. He's going to be in a duel with a guy who is essentially the lieutenant governor of Arkansas.
God.
So they have their duel. They turn and fire. Crittenden, His coat is grazed by Conway's bullet.
Where?
Just the coat.
Oh, okay.
Crittenden shot hits Conway in the chest.
Oh, dang.
Conway dies 11 days later.
Ooh.
Yeah, rough time.
That
November
is
9th.
rough. What did he die from?
I guess just like whatever you die from when you get shot in the chest and
11 days
don't have
later.
modern medicine.
Infection?
Probably infection.
Collapsed
do you
lung?
think?
Obviously didn't get his heart.
No.
Dang.
It's a bad time.
That is a bad time.
Crittenden
Oh,
is indicted, but never charged for the duel.
because he's a white man.
The rich people, am I right?
Yes.
I'm being sarcastic, but only kind of.
but not really.
Look it up.
For real.
Conway's cousin, the one who was in that other duel where nobody died,
Yeah.
Ambrose, he ended up winning the special election to fill in Conway's spot for the House of Representatives.
Interesting.
And this actually begins what would become known as the family or the dynasty,
What?
which was a powerful family of Democrats that dominated Arkansas politics during this era,
Interesting.
basically up until the Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Conway and like all of his family were like big time political powerhouse
Interesting.
for a long time. And Ambrose Sevier, he became the first senator of Arkansas after we gained statehood. Two of Conway's younger brothers would go on to become governors of Arkansas,
Interesting.
including the first governor, James Conway, and the fifth, which was Elias.
Conway?
Yes.
I like their last names.
Also, fun fact, remember Andrew Scott from earlier?
Mm-hmm.
He also ran in that election for the special election to fill Conway's seat after he got shot and killed by the Secretary of Arkansas Territory. He ran to fill that spot. He failed miserably.
Uh-oh.
He gained 116 votes.
That's it?
116, yes.
Out of how many?
Out of thousands upon thousands.
It was really bad.
Yes.
It was all his friends and family.
Probably.
Yay!
They're like, well, we'll vote for you because
We
you
love
might
you."
shoot us.
It's true.
May 31st, 1828, he confronts a man named General Edmund Hogan, who had also run for that vacant seat.
There is a road around here near me.
Could be named after him. He was like an early political force in Arkansas. He
Interesting.
led up the Arkansas militia, I believe,
Oh.
early on. Like he was the first guy running it.
For the Civil War?
No, this is like before Civil
Period,
War.
just
This is
the
for the
militia.
territory.
Okay, cool.
They'd get into a big screaming match where Scott's like, you lied about me. You told all these lies about how I shot this guy and I shot that guy, but I didn't shoot that guy or whatever he says.
Whatever, yeah.
Basically, like a lot of stuff was said about him during the campaign. And he says those are lies. And Hogan, who I imagine, it sounds like he was a big dude. He was a general. He shoves Scott to the ground. So they get into a tussle. And Scott pulls out a knife from his cane and stabs him 4 times.
What?
Hogan begins vomiting blood and dies within 10 minutes.
What the heck? That was the biggest turn.
And Andrew Scott is arrested, but not charged, citing
But he
self-defense.
He literally just murdered somebody.
They called it self-defense.
What a bad dude. I'm glad he only got 116 votes.
And he would die at the age of 61 while he was on business in what is now Russellville. He just collapsed and died one day.
Oh, darn.
Crittenden, he actually challenged Sevier for his seat in Congress.
What's his name? Ambrose Sevier?
Yeah.
Is he from Louisiana by chance?
I don't know.
Because that's a very French-sounding
I
name.
wouldn't be surprised if he was also, so he was cousins with Conway, so he might have been from Tennessee, which is where Conway was from. He definitely has a page on Encyclopedia of Arkansas if you're looking
Ambrose Hundley Sevier.
for him. That sounds right.
Okay. I'm looking him up.
Crittenden failed to gain the seat because Sevier was more popular. Crittenden, he continued to practice law until December 18th, 1834, because he stopped doing it because he collapsed and died while arguing a case in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Dang. Dang.
He just collapsed and died.
So all these people, they had massive coronary events.
They're probably all smoking so much tobacco and drinking whiskey or whatever. I don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
You know how these old people do. And they were also like racking up like karma points from all the cheating on their wives, probably. I don't know.
And dueling and killing people.
Yeah. But, and Conway, as you might guess, the city of Conway, where Caitlin went to high school and all that, named after, well, I saw a thing that said it's named after the family. I've seen stuff to say it's named after him. It may as well be him because he is the progenitor of that family force.
Yeah.
And also Conway County, named after him. It's annoying that there's both.
Yeah, and they're not in the same place. They're not. Conway City is not in Conway County.
Nope, but they're right next to each other.
They are.
Making it extra annoying.
It is. Also, Ambrose Hundley Sevier was only 47 when he died.
They were all very young.
Yeah, very young.
Which, like, people just died earlier, but I bet tobacco played a big part because that was before people understood how bad it was, I think.
And butter.
And tobacco was, like, a major crop in America. So... So those are our duels.
Very cool. Listen, I really like the historical aspect of it. I'm really into that. That was great. I know you love your old stories, but yeah. I love the history of it.
The guy who was basically our first lieutenant governor shot and killed a guy, and the two people on what was essentially our Supreme Court tried to shoot each other, and one of them succeeded, and one of them went on to stab a different guy to death.
We're really stand-up folks here, guys.
Yeah, if you make a song making fun of how dumb and redneck and hillbilly we are, we're going to make a minor league baseball team named after him.
That's right. That literally happened.
That's right. The Arkansas Travelers, in case you're wondering. That was a song about...
How does that song go?
I don't remember, but it's like... There's something, and it's like, I'll never go to Arkansas again or something at some point. I don't remember, but it's like,
we only did was maybe your friend.
But like the song is basically like, man, this place sucks. Let's go.
They're not wrong.
What a nightmare.
There are some pretty places, like Petit Jean.
There's plenty of pretty places,
which is near Menifee. Petit Jean is right near Menifee.
Yeah, there you go, Dr. Nimrod Menifee.
I love it.
I got to learn that there was a guy named Nimrod. That must not have meant, like, you're dumb yet.
No.
But at some point, you know how, like, the R word is no longer acceptable?
Right.
But that was, like, the medical term?
Right.
At some point, I'm pretty sure Nimrod there was, like, a scale of intelligence, and Nimrod was in there.
Oh, that's
along
funny.
with, like, imbecile and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, an idiot, I think, even was in there. So, like, all of these words literally, like, scientifically meant... Like, these were the medical terms that we came up with and eventually moved on from for various reasons.
That's funny.
But yeah, I had actually heard vaguely about the Scott Selden duel, mostly because I remember there's two judges and they got out of Arkansas so they could avoid the law to do their duel. That's all I remembered. So I was glad I found that one again.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to learn about your old hometown's namesake.
Yeah.
And also Crittenden, like that dude, like he gained so much power. Like Crittenden County was named that while he was still in office.
Oh, wow.
So like it wasn't even like years afterwards when he died or something like it normally happens when things are named after people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to name that after me right now. Let's go. So.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, Andrew.
Yeah.
That was great. Thank you. This is part of the episode where we talk about what you've been looking at, what you've been up to, catching up with you.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
Have you ever heard of Wii Sports?
I have. In fact, I think it was you who told me about it.
That might be true.
And my best friend, Alyssa, her son just had a birthday and they got him Wii Sports and he is in love with it.
Do you mean that they got him Nintendo Switch Sports?
I said Wii Sports. I do mean Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yeah, so Switch Sports it's Wii Sports.
Yeah,
it's the new one.
Yeah.
It's been too long. It's fun. It's still fun to play those games with motion controls.
Yeah.
And now it has online play.
Oh.
Making it even more fun.
So if I got it, we could play together?
Yeah, we could.
That's cool.
We could be on the same soccer team.
You don't want that.
We could be on the same volleyball team.
You also don't want that.
We could play each other in bowling.
Honestly, you don't want me on any of your teams. Let's just be honest.
That's probably true.
You know that.
So basically the sports I've got right now are tennis, badminton, volleyball, soccer.
I like badminton.
Badminton, bowling, and a thing called Chanbara. It's sword fighting.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen American Gladiators where they're on the big...
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me stop you there. No.
This is going to be for the people at home.
Okay.
American Gladiators, remember that thing where they have the event where they're standing on a big platform and they have the big giant batons and they hit each other with them and knock them off?
I do know that thing.
Chanbara looks a lot like that.
Oh, okay.
Except with like foam looking swords, and you knock somebody off and they fall into water.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks great. It's a lot of fun, and playing online is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was kind of annoyed that they have like tennis, badminton, volleyball, because it's like you're hitting a thing over a net.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have 3 sports out of that?
Was it different enough?
They're different enough. Like the way tennis plays is different from badminton in a way I did not expect, and volleyball is really different because it's
volleyball.
Yeah, instead like tennis, you're just like whack, whack,
yeah.
whack, whack, and badminton is kind of whack, whack,
Dink,
whack, but it's
dink.
it's a little different, and
Yeah.
the way you win at badminton is significantly different than you win at tennis in this game.
Okay.
So that's good enough for me. And then volleyball, you're like, you gotta do the bump, set, spike. Like,
Ugh.
it's a whole process, and you have a teammate and you do it with. So that stuff's fun.
Cool.
Why don't you go for a second? Because I think we got 2 things that we'll do jointly.
Okay. Let's see. I am, what am I doing? Severance. I finished Severance. I don't remember if I talked about it or not. I can't remember. It's been like a year ago that we did our
You
last
definitely
recording.
talked about it, and you may have finished it. I don't remember.
It was really, really good. I'm trying to get Andrew to get
Yeah.
on to watch it. But Adam Scott was so impressive. His performance was so good. And all the actors. And the guy, I can't remember his name. John Turturro. Yeah. He was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And most recently, The Batman. Mm-hmm. He was in it. His performance was, I think we did talk about this, impeccable. But I'm talking about it again because that show was so good. It's on Apple, whatever.
Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, Apple
whatever.
TV Plus. Yeah. It was so good.
If it makes you feel better, I'm pretty sure I talked about that game Overboard 2 weeks in a row.
You did.
So,
2 weeks. Oh, yeah.
like 2 weeks in a row without realizing I taled about it the week before.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I talked about Severance. But it was whatever. I'm going to talk about it again because it was so good. But yeah, we finished that like, at some point. Yeah. You next.
Okay. At some point, I didn't notice it, but Peacock put out season 4 of the Superfan Office episodes, which is the Office episodes where they added in deleted scenes.
Did you watch it?
So it includes the dinner party finally. So it's
That's
more
my
and more
favorite
cringe.
episode. What? Tell me what happened.
The only thing that came to mind that I could think of to write down real quick is there's a whole extra subplot about, not even subplot, but just like an extra bit about how the neighbors hate Jan at
God.
Michael's condominium complex. And there's like a thing where she talks about she was part of the neighborhood watch and she was supposed to be watching and she fell asleep. And I think they imply it's because of the wine, because she was a big wino in that episode.
Yes.
And when she fell asleep, some kids spray painted the neighbor's dog.
No.
So there's like some weird stuff like that, and you get to see the dog at some point.
That's funny.
In the scene where the cops come, you see the dog.
Yeah.
Like it cuts away for that. There's some other little stuff. You see more of Ryan doing drugs when he's in New York.
Nice.
They basically confirmed that his friend, the little guy,
is the
little person, he's the drug dealer. They even have like a bit with him like in a stairwell being saying something weird. And I guess he also works at Dunder Mifflin because he shows up later, the episode where Ryan gets arrested. He shows up at Dunder Mifflin in Scranton and says something. I forget what he's talking about, but he's telling Jim something. Or he's telling somebody something. And Jim's like, hey, Troy. His name's Troy. Like, can you tell Ryan this or that? And Troy's like, I speak for Ryan right now or something like that. Because he knows that Ryan's about to be arrested. I know this is all new stuff. And also, remember how big the party was for Toby?
The one that Michael made?
Yeah, but Michael only...
But it was the big going away party where Jim was going to propose to Pam.
Yes.
And they said,
and he paid for fireworks.
Toby, it's been nice.
Yes. So like Jim pays for those fireworks.
Yes.
Michael contributes some money.
Yeah.
But you get to see more of Phyllis planning the party out and being like there's more of the stuff with trying to find the anti-gravity machine.
Oh yeah.
Which has the great bit where the operator's like, or the Chamber of Commerce lady's like, do you mean antidepressants? And she's like, sure, fine. But there's like more stuff where she's like talking to Angela, and she's like, Angela, can you give me a list of your vendors? And she's like, I shredded them on accident.
No, that's normal.
Is that in there?
Yeah,
I don't think that's in. I don't remember that.
That's in there.
Okay,
or at least I've seen it.
Is this in here though?
What?
Where Jim Vance, or Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
Bob Vance.
He pays for a bunch of the money for the party. That's why it's so extravagant. The money Michael gave would not have been that much.
Right.
So that's why they have like the Ferris wheel and all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
Also shows...
It didn't show... I don't know Bob Vance paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's new. I told you.
It is new. Oh, Bob Vance.
Also, they show more of... you remember at the end, towards the end, where Kevin leaves to go get barbecue sauce, which is when he meets Jan, who is pregnant at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Why did he have to go get the barbecue sauce? They have a conversation where Phyllis is talking to these people and being like, hey, Mrs. Vance, we need more barbecue sauce. We're about to be out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Angela, go get it. Angela doesn't go get it. So they run out. Kevin has to be the one to go get it.
Oh.
It's really weird. Unnecessary, I think. But, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But, so there's like a bunch of stuff like that. It was just fun to see the Office stuff again.
That is fun.
Oh, there's more stuff with Toby trying to get a picture with Pam.
Oh,
that
yeah.
really awkward thing.
That is
there's
so
more
awkward.
stuff.
Oh, it's so awkward.
There's a whole scene. I can't remember if he goes out and gets a camera.
He does.
Okay. But do you remember the scene where, I think this is new, where he brings the camera and he's like, can I get a picture of Pam? And Jim's like, sure. And Jim just puts his arm around Pam so Toby can take a picture. And then Toby's like, well, can I? He's like, oh, one of us standing? Yeah. And so they stand up and take a picture.
Is he just messing with him?
I don't know I don't think he knows. It's just like...
Oh, okay.
Though there is like a thing where Jim says something weird where he's like, he can tell that Toby's like trying to horn in on his girl.
Yeah.
There's like, he has a talking head where he says something like that. And also the most unrealistic thing in all of The Office, when Pam, this is in the old ones too.
What?
When Pam's like, I thought Toby was kind of cute.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
Yeah, okay, Pam.
Liar.
Okay, Pam.
I've met some women with bad taste. Nobody has that bad a taste, Pam.
Dang, you're harsh.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it from me until the other things.
Oh, okay. Are joint things?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I started listening, because I do audiobooks. I started listening to Wicked, the book.
Do you mean started or finished? Because you talked about it.
When?
Last episode, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I did?
Because I remember talking about...
I must have just started it. I'm about halfway through. It's pretty darn long. Like, it's really long.
Because I remember...
It's nothing like the musical.
Yeah, you mentioned that
at all.
And I remember telling you I saw it on Broadway, and you were like, "Oh, it was you. You're the son of a gun."
Because I thought John had seen it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about halfway through it now. It's very odd. The writing style is very peculiar. Yeah, nothing like the musical at all. It's way different. So,
do they even sing in this book?
A little bit. Alphabet does sing a little bit in the books.
I guess people do sing in books, like Tolkien books, all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going good. Still listening to it. John and I have started playing jointly Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
How many Star Wars, Andrew?
Oh, sounds like it's one for both of us combined.
It's one for me.
Yeah.
What's your Star Wars?
You playing Star Wars?
Oh, okay.
So I said one combined.
Combined. Yes.
Between the two of us.
Yes, we're playing Lego Star Wars, and we're not super far. We've been kind of busy, but it's fun so far. It's the hardest and most detailed Lego game I've been a part of. It's the most open world type Lego game I've been a part of.
That was the thing I heard, is that it's pretty open world compared to the others.
And it's very like video gamey. It's more geared for like
for
older
real gamers,
older adults and older like teenagers.
Give me them adult Legos.
And adults. It's definitely more. It's more. It's not for like Harry Potter was definitely more. It could be more for kids.
It seems like it's not for adults, because I saw somebody complaining on Twitter that they took away Princess Leia's cleavage in the slave outfit on the Lego. So
what are you gonna do? What do you?
Sounds like they kidified it to me. Doesn't sound like it's for adults who can handle it.
And then Andrew, excitingly, have joined my community band.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say a cult. And I was like, Caitlin, we used to always say don't.
Don't join the cult. No cults unless you consider band a cult. Some people do.
Kind of?
No, it's really great. I'm so happy.
Cult adjacent, I will say.
Yeah, okay. I'm so happy to be back in band. It's fantastic. I love playing. The band is flipping huge and sound pretty good. The music's fun. I'm so happy. Music is my life and I'm here for it, and it's super exciting.
They got any room for somebody who will not come and also has no talent and can't play an instrument?
They can always use stage-hands, that's for sure, whenever they get ready to do performances.
Sounds like a lot of work. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, no. And then I think our joint stuff. So first off, Moon Knight. Was that yours?
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was pretty good.
I heard there's not going to be another one, though.
They said that. It seems like there should be. But with the way they set things up at the end without spoiling it.
Yeah, but Oscar Isaac's done.
They're all liars in Hollywood. You know this.
You think so?
Andrew Garfield was going around and be like, I'm not in that Spider-Man movie. And then there he is in that Spider-Man movie.
But it was like officially announced by like Oscar Isaac and Disney that he's not reprising his role as
They're all liars, Caitlin. I think it felt like kind of I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. It was different. So
it was. I like that they went to the desert in Egypt and they didn't put a weird filter on it. And like they always do in deserts, or like it's the yellow filter for the color grading or whatever. I like that they're like, hey, the pyramids are like right up in this city, basically.
They really are.
That is how it actually is.
It is.
They're not just out in the middle of nowhere.
There's like a Pizza Hut right by one of the, not right by it, but it's pretty close. You can see
There's a Pizza Hut right in the tomb.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, if you could go back in time and see like old monuments, I'd like to see the pyramids because they used to be shiny apparently and smooth.
I've heard that as well.
I would like to see that.
I'd like to see the impressive feat of making it happen, because that is...
Nah.
I don't know.
They used water. They moved them on boats.
Whatever. I know. It's impressive.
Or you get there and it's like, oh, geez, there's UFOs everywhere.
Either way.
It's alien. It was aliens.
They were right, man.
The racists were right.
But either way, I don't know if it's aliens, if it's UFOs, or if it's the imagination and strength of people.
It was that one.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And that'd be really cool to see it be put to such a incredible thing be put together.
I bet it would be very boring to look at, actually. Kind of like regular construction, where we build significantly larger things all the time.
Although
it is not fun to look at, because mostly it doesn't look like anything unless you put it on a month-long time-lapse video.
But here's the thing. If I was actually back there watching them build it, I would maybe have some guns with me and liberate the slaves. That might be a better use of my time. At least, because that's not cool.
You'll just destroy the timeline.
Then I would just mess up. There'd be no pyramids. Then there'd be no Moon Knight.
Or there'd be like an even bigger pyramid.
There'd be no The Mummy, Brendan Fraser.
Or they would have figured out something crazy and been like, here's an inverted pyramid, and we had to use more slaves.
That would be horrible.
I don't know. Like, you can't be messing up the timeline, Caitlin.
I do what I want.
They tried to do that in Command and Conquer Red Alert. They went back in time and killed Hitler, and then the Soviet Union took over the world.
Oh. Well, guess there's repercussions for everything. Anyway, okay. Moon Knight, good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
Check it out. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah. It was easy watch.
May as well.
And our finale, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew and I and John went to go see The Northman.
Yeah, The Northman's pretty good.
It was something else. It was about as like I expected, though. It really was. Kind of dark and dingy.
Yeah.
Like the Vivitch.
I'd read an interview with Robert Eggers right beforehand, and he was talking about like, yeah, it sounded like all these rituals they did back in Viking times, like people were just covered in blood all the time. It's like, yeah, probably. And that's kind of the vibe of the movie.
Yes.
It's
Alexander. Is it Alexander Skarsgård?
Yes.
Yeah, he's very dirty and shirtless a lot.
He's Amleth.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when the movie first started, you're like, I saw on TikTok it was based on
Hamlet.
Macbeth or something is what you said.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's Hamlet. Which is I only said because I couldn't expand further and tell you that it's actually based on a Scandinavian story about a guy named Amleth, which is the basis.
No, I told you that.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
Absolutely not true.
You did not tell me that because that was in the TikTok too.
The TikTok was wrong. You were saying the wrong thing from the TikTok, and you never told me that. It
said it was based off of Hamlet, and Hamlet was based off of
Amleth. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Amleth, which was Scandinavian,
story.
which was what it's based off. Yeah.
And I read that before we went to the movie, which is how I knew about the Hamlet thing. Well, you
I
said it wrong.
I couldn't remember which Shakespeare play it was.
You said it wrong.
But that, and then I told John, I was like, does this remind you of any movie? And because The Lion King is also based off of Hamlet.
Yeah.
And so, which is funny because I was watching the whole time. I was like, yeah, there that is. That happened in The Lion King. Oh, yeah, that happened in The Lion King. So, very similar.
Lots of stuff are based on Hamlet, as it turns out.
Yeah. So, I thought it was great.
Great
it was
visuals.
Graphic. It was kind of graphic.
Yeah, it's graphic and super weird. Great visuals.
Dark. Very dark.
It's actually a good theater movie because it will keep you interested most of the time, and the people who are going to go see it are not going to be weird, annoying pricks about it.
Yeah.
They're not going to be
I want to see
loud.
Doctor Strange, but I know there will be annoying people there.
Oh, I know. I saw somebody who was like, I went and saw whatever Star Wars or Marvel movie, and the whole audience was cheering and stuff. I was like, I don't want to be in that. What are you talking about?
I don't want to be a part of that.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah. No, it was good. And that was the theater we saw it at was the only theater in the area playing it because it was the same night that Doctor Strange came out. So everybody was getting ready for that. So
yeah, it'd been a few weeks and Doctor Strange and Disney's whole, we have to have this many theaters stuff.
Which I didn't, Andrew told me about that the other night. I didn't know that was a thing.
Also, Hamlet, all you got to do, move that H to the front. Hamlet. Yep, that's right. Also, it sounded like they kept saying omelet.
Yes, it did.
Egg omelet.
It did. I was like, did they just say omelet? But it's omelette.
It's a significantly weird movie also.
I think
it is Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
He did The Witch and Lighthouse, I think you mentioned.
Yes.
Which
we've talked about both in past episodes somewhere.
If you like either of those movies, you will probably like this.
Yes.
It's not super action heavy, but there is quite a bit, especially compared to his other films.
I think this was a better story. It was a better story. It made more sense. Willem Dafoe in that, creepy as usual.
Well, yeah, that's just Willem Dafoe. He wasn't even acting. He was just doing stuff.
He was just being himself.
They just put him on a green screen, and then just everybody else had to react around that.
It was weird. What's Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, he's in it.
He plays in Moon Knight as the Dr. Harrow. Is that his name? Harrow? Yeah. And then he plays in Hamlet, the new Hamlet, the Northman.
Yeah.
He plays in that very briefly, but...
Also, I told you that Bill Skarsgård was in it, and I was wrong.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be in it.
I was like, Bill Skarsgård? You told me that at the beginning of the movie, and at the end I was like, Bill Skarsgård was not in this movie.
He was supposed to be a guy, but COVID delays caused scheduling conflicts, and so...
What else was he making?
I don't know.
It 3?
Some other thing. Yeah, It Chapter 3.
3? No, but it was good. I think the order... So I've heard it referred to as the trilogy, which is The Witch, The Northman, and The Lighthouse. And definitely my order is The Northman, The Witch, The Lighthouse. I would kick The Lighthouse off if I could. That was terrible.
Yeah, I think I'd go Witch up top, but I'm not sure. The Northman, I liked it a lot. I keep thinking about it. I also wonder, how much of that was real and how much of it is all of these horrible people are constantly high on weird hallucinogenics. How much of
the actors?
The characters, because there's some mystical imagery, and it's is that real though, or is he just imagining it?
Yeah.
And there's also questions about revenge. Should I do a revenge or not? Probably not.
And and that again, another theme of Lion King was running from your problems. Do you come back and face them?
Done slightly differently, I would say.
Done a lot differently, but they had to change it for kid purposes.
Yeah.
But Anya Taylor-Joy was in there and did a great job.
Yeah.
Also, Bjorn.
Most people say Bjork. I think it's supposed to be pronounced slightly differently though. It's Björk or something.
But Bjork, the singer,
she's in it for a second.
She is, and Andrew's like, "Which one was she?"
And then he said it. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Oh yeah, that one. The witchy
witch
lady.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy was great in it. She's amazing. She's so good.
What?
I know what you're gonna.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing.
I know what you're thinking.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I know. I saw Andrew's mind working. He turned, and then I started shaking my head no, and then he looked at me like, "What?" I know what you're thinking. I know what you're gonna say.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
If you watch the movie, you'll understand. I think
you'll see her butt. Or you can watch The Witch. You'll see her butt there too.
Oh my God, she was a minor then. Actually, I don't think she was. I think
probably
she was
not
18. But anyway, she's a very talented actress. She's very good. And Alexander Skarsgård would really
I wasn't
good.
making judgment calls. I'm just stating facts here.
we saw his butt too, didn't we?
Yes.
But I don't care about that. He did a.
That's not true. Caitlin leaned over and said,
Only because you were like.
I like to bite into them buns is what Caitlin said.
I 100% did not say that.
Right there in the theater. She yelled it. She yelled it.
I was the obnoxious person. Spoiler, it was a plot twist. I was the obnoxious person.
It was Caitlin all along. The call was coming from inside the house.
Yeah. No, but it was a good movie. It was really good. I'm excited. Next movie is going to be Doctor Strange. Well, that or we talked about this. That or
Everything, Everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, which neither of us has still seen.
Or
what?
The something talent.
The what?
The Nicolas Cage one, whatever it's called.
Oh no!
The big old weight of too much talent.
No, I'm
real good.
I'm not watching that.
Oh, I want to see it.
There was a weird thing for an Elvis biopic. Do you remember that?
I do. Hopefully, they talk about how he like married a 13-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, and he did.
I bet they don't.
And then Tom Hanks is in it. That was weird.
Yeah, he's like his manager or something.
And the guy they got to play him looks nothing like Elvis. But anyway.
He looks kind of like young Elvis. But like when they do the old Elvis, it doesn't look real. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, just get a different guy.
Who is that guy? Who is that guy? But anyway, so yeah, I think that's everything from me.
Yeah, watch The Northman. It's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the trailer has like the most cool action part in it, which is when he catches that spear.
That was cool.
When they do that berserker raid thing. And everybody's so horrible in this movie. They're all awful.
Yeah.
They're all miserable, awful, terrible people.
I liked the Valkyrie thing.
Yeah.
At the end.
Spoilers.
Also,
hey, let's just do spoilers.
No, that was in
Is that in the trailer?
Yeah.
Sorry, well, let's do spoilers anyway. We're going to spoil this movie. Spoiler. You don't want to hear any more.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about like the idea of like at the end. For one, like I keep thinking about like how much of this stuff is like legit. Like, is he actually having these mystical visions and all that? Like
what?
Like the part where he's like, I'm gonna have twin babies and they're gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Or is he just like telling himself that? And
No.
there's the part because the movie sets it up. They basically tell you the movie. They're like, you're either gonna have to learn to love people or you're gonna give into your hatred like the Sith. And go fight in a volcano just like the Sith. And there's the part where he's like, I'm going to do both. I'm going to go kill this guy and we're going to do this. It's like, nah, man. Haven't you ever seen a movie?
Exactly.
What are you doing? But
you can't have everything you want.
But as he's dying, he's like, oh, I can see my kids. They're totally going to be awesome.
I think he really saw it.
He probably saw, but is that real?
Yeah.
Like, is he actually having these divine visions?
Yeah, I think so.
But also, like, the first scene where we see the Valkyrie, he's being carried off, is shown to be essentially a dream. Is that, like, a vision of the future? Or is that him imagining that while he's on the horse with Anya Taylor-Joy?
I think he was on the horse with Anya Taylor-Joy, but then he had a prophetic vision and saw himself with the Valkyrie, and then it ended up being... He rode away into Valhalla with the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But
also don't do revenge and it's bad.
It is. Bad for the soul.
It's a bad time. And they were away and he's all like, oh, but if we do this, they'll come and find us. Like, probably not. They're stuck on Iceland. They have like not that much money.
Yeah, no, you're good.
You're probably good. But he's like, no, I'm going to do it. Because I feel like he was like, I really want to do this.
Yeah, he's like,
this is my whole life.
And I'm going to leave you, my lovely Anya Taylor-Joy. You're pregnant with a boy and a girl, by the way. I'm going to leave you. Goodbye. Also, I looked it up. Do you notice the Valkyrie had the thing on her teeth? It was, John was like, did the Valkyrie have braces? I was like, no. But I looked it up to see what it was.
Yeah.
And it said that they're sometimes depicted, people back then would like file down a groove in their teeth, in their front teeth.
Gross.
And then put like a I don't know, something to dye it, whatever that's called.
That sounds weird.
And it was like a sign of something, I don't know. So that's what that was. It wasn't braces.
Gotcha. I remember looking at it. I was like, what's happening here?
Those bracelets?
It was really weird looking. I assumed it was something because Eggers was all obsessed with like historical accuracy as best they could do.
I did see that as well.
To the point that he was like...
Although that was not actually an accurate thing because it was mostly men that were depicted with that.
Yeah.
And so it was a controversial thing to put it on Valkyrie, who was typically depicted as women. But then he said, well, it kind of depicts them as not male, not female, and just an otherworldly species.
Also, another thing, Valkyries, not real.
Well, yeah.
Not even real.
That's true.
They're not even a real thing. They're made up. They're fiction.
It is very true.
So, I mean...
Hate to break it to you, Mr. Eggers.
I don't know, it's like every time people get upset about like, why'd they make Superman like this? He's not that. And it's like, they make him whatever they want. He's fake.
It's make
He's not a real guy.
He's not going to get offended.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. It's, I did think a lot about like how much of it was real or fake. But I came along to the idea that it was all real, at least within the world of the movie.
Yeah.
Because movies are fake, guys.
Of course.
Especially the main thing that sold me on the idea was the sword, because at first I was like thinking there's the scene where he's like, I'm going to go get in there and kill him. And it's like the sun starts to rise.
Yeah.
And
his sword can't be pulled out.
Come out.
It doesn't come out in the daytime.
But then like he also mentions like, oh no, the prophecy, this isn't how it would be. It's supposed to be at the lake of fire or whatever.
Right.
So I was thinking like, is he just psyching himself out and not pulling it out? But then when he's captured later, another guy tries to pull it out and can't do it. I'm like, okay, maybe that's real then.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a sick movie. Check it out.
Yep.
I already told you that, though.
Yep.
I mean, even with spoilers, like, just watch it. Spoilers aren't that big a deal.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, a lot of movies I've seen that are really good, that I'm like, this movie rules. I've known what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. A thematic experience.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think that's everything. Thank you for stopping by. This has been Paint the Town Dead. We put out episodes whenever we can, 2 weeks-ish between each other. We're located on Facebook at Paint the Town Dead. We're located on Instagram, Paint the Town Dead, all one word. Twitter at PTTDpod. You can email us at pttdpod@gmail.com. Feel free to subscribe on anything you can, rate 5 stars, anything you can, like anything you can, share anything you can. Any interaction you have helps, and we greatly appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks if we get to it. I think we will.
Yeah, this time it'll be on Caitlin.
It's on me this time to make it late. Anyway. Okay. All right,
guys. Keep the tradition going.
Better make it late. So see you in a month, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully before that. In fact, for our next episode, not to do a little teaser or anything, but Caitlin, am going to be reading a book for my next episode.
Next year we will see you.
It's not an audio book. It is a legitimate. I bought a paperback book from Amazon. So yay. So
next December.
We'll see you then. Until then, guys, be good. Stay safe. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye.